It took like 2 days for some bot networks to find a workaround around the new Twitch detection system. Yeah, I see that. Train says botter and streamers are in on it. Lyric says, if you view bot, you should get permaban. Problem is, view botters just hide behind the plausible deniability excuse that someone is doing it to them without them knowing. They hide behind the same valid excuse that is used by actual victims of botting harassment. However, the difference is very clear based on all the information I've collected. Anyone who's being botted during every hour of every single stream for multiple years consistently without missing a single minute window of a stream without any drops have to be in on it with the botter. That kind of consistency requires the compliance and support of the streamer. Problem is how shameless they are. This year alone, I've witnessed botters so confident that while they themselves are some of the site's worst botters, they're actively defending other botters. These groups are almost always the ones ready to throw each other under the bus for anything that could be conceived as a brand risk. So from this, there it is. There it is. There it is, dude. Shameless, dude. Dude. Yeah, it's the PC streamers. It's the brand safe streamers. I guess I'm no longer considered a part of the Disney streamer mentality, right? Considering that there's been like active attempts to deplatform me by all of these institutions, all these organizations. Because remember, for the longest part of my career, when woke was quote unquote thriving, okay, everybody used to say I was a Disney streamer, or like I'm too unproblematic, I'm too brand safe, right? Like I was faking it. I must be faking it. Now, my mentality never changed, but societal attitudes changed a little bit, especially around certain American foreign policy decisions as it pertains to the most important, most moral nation on the planet, Israel. And now they went away with this like brand safe shit. And now they're just saying, no, we have to ban this guy. We have to deplatform this guy. I'm not saying that that's like obviously Train's implication here, but I don't know who he's talking about when he says anything that could be conceived as a brand risk. So from this defense alone, you can conclude that they're all aware of each other and in on it together. The other thing I've noticed is that botters have zero understanding of basic foundational streaming metrics, analytics, viewer behavior, and simple basic ratios that any streamer who grinded from the bottom to the top have to and must know. Botters know and understand none of these things. Yeah. Devin Nash, speaking with the CEO of Kick, yeah, we talked about this already, estimates that 70 to 80% of Kick's total viewership may be attributed to view bots. Eddie admits it's a large portion of the viewership data, but says 70 to 80 is too high.
The viewbotting side of things is, if anything, potentially more contained here. And again, feel free to challenge me on that completely, and I will take it completely. But
so by percentage, if I were to say that 30, I can confidently say that 30 to 40% of Twitch's viewership is inauthentic in some way. I would put that number closer to 70, 80% on Kick. Straight up.
Right. Okay. No, well, again, we've got an understanding about what the numbers are, where the real numbers are. Again, it's a large proportion, but 70 to 80%, yeah, I think you'll find is far too high. It's not as high as that. There's a lot of view bots. That's for sure.
I love that he just admits it too. He's just like, yeah, there's a lot of view bots on the platform. But again, the purpose of Kick is not the same as like Twitch or YouTube. Twitch and YouTube have they play a role in the broader company structure that they have, and the role is to at least generate enough revenue that it can be somewhat self-sustaining, right? There's also like additional marketing, additional prestige that comes along with like owning a live stream platform and basically monopolizing the entire live streaming sphere. That's what Amazon's goal is for Twitch, right? Whereas with Kick doesn't have any like advertisement revenue targets that they need to hit, because it's basically just a branch of the casino that is Stake, a crypto casino online that is a money printing operation, pretty much. Therefore, they don't really give a shit. There's like a ton of botting on Kick, because they don't have to like justify real view counts. Are you botting again? Yeah, your view count is high today. Are you botting again? Every day, baby. I love that so many people also don't understand anything about streaming and therefore immediately go, you must be botting. First of all, if I'm botting, why the fuck would I bot to like 29,000? And secondly, you can look at the chatters in here, like the active tuned in chatters is right here, /chatters, 26,000 for 29,800 people watching. That's an immensely high ratio. I'm active, but I'm a bot 100%. Yeah. Shouts out to the clankers in the chat.
Sure. But 70-80%, again, if that's based on your analysis, I respect that. But I can, from outside, the big aspect is understanding what a real viewer is and what a non-authentic viewer is. And it's, the view botting side of things is if anything, potentially more.
7.5K in 2 hours and on stream. View bots are back 1000%. Twitch lock in and do your job. We are so back. Asmongold. Yeah, Kick's got some bigger problems than just botting. Let's be real. It's like how casinos in Las Vegas have shows to get people in the door and entertain, while the real goal is to funnel them into the casino so they can take your money. Stake is literally that with Kick. Yep, exactly. And because they have an unlimited money printer, it doesn't matter. Like they can work with anybody. They can actually pay higher. They can just like straight up pay people to stream on the platform. And it doesn't necessarily matter if they're botting everything into oblivion, because they don't have any obligations to like marketers in general. You know what I mean? So Twitch takes years to detect the bots, and networks need a couple hours to find a workaround. Oh yeah, for sure. That's straight up. What is the thing that you can where is the active usership that you can see, where you can look at like chatters versus, or active versus inactive users, like people who are logged on to the site watching? Because that's not the greatest metric, but which website shows it? Not the extension. There's a website that shows it, but it's not the greatest metric to figure it out, because like even with someone like myself, I have a lot of inactive viewers as well, like viewers that are not logged onto the website but just like are tuning in by going to twitch.tv/Hasanabi. And but you have to look at the ratios. A couple ways of figuring this out is by, like, I guess Twitch tracker. Is that the one? Where is it? Where do you see it? Like, I watch all the time on my TV where I'm not logged in. Lol. No, I know. You can watch on TV, Apple TV, numerous other devices where you're just like not logged in at all. Is normal, and that is clocked in as a non-active viewership. So that's one of the ways in which you can figure it out, whether someone's like botting or not. Like here, let's look at this day, right? These are the clips. These are the number of clips that were generated, right? That's one way to also figure out. One way to figure out is like how many clips, like how much activity, how much real human activity is taking place. And I have, my clips are only if you're a subscriber can you actually clip my stream. And even then, there are a fuck ton of clips, right? You can also look at how many people are following in the process, right? I don't know what happened here. We lost 4 followers. Someone was like, 4 people were like, this. Okay. Where's the active users or whatever though? Where is that? Because am I crazy? Is it on the stats? What am I not seeing here? Because I feel like, is it Sully Gnome, or is it, I don't think it shows anymore. Oh, there's a stats tab. Concurrent viewers hour stream. No, it's not showing. Check your August 15th, 2025 stream on Twitch tracker. It shows the viewer ratio. Like you go on streams and then you click on what? August 15th. Did they stop showing that? Is that what happened on August 15th or something? Yeah, it's not showing me what I'm looking for here. Are mainstream companies sponsoring Kick streamers too? Are they still yet? Are we still yet to see that? Just curious about the creator's ability to leverage Kick. I don't know much. Twitch tracker shows the ratio here. Oh, there it is. I don't know how the fuck I found this, but it wasn't showing this for me for some weird reason. But like you see, it shows viewers to users, right? And this ratio is consistent throughout, right? This is how it normally works. You start, and obviously Twitch is not like Twitch is clocking who is tuning into the broadcast to the best of its ability in real time as fast as it can. But this is usually how it goes. It goes from like the first hour, there's a buildup. If you see like a massive spike instantly, that's usually an indication that there's bots. Or if you see a massive spike that just stays level, that's usually an indication that there's botting happening. Okay. If you have a fairly high user to viewer ratio, if you have a fairly high user to viewer ratio where the majority of like your users are going up when the viewers are going up, and your viewer to user ratio is like relatively high, as is mine is relatively high, that is usually an indication that you are not botting. If you have a low viewer to user ratio, on the other hand, that could be an indication that you are botting. Okay? It says here that I have a 82% viewer to user ratio, which is immensely high, a lot higher than the average channel. I think like the average channel is around like 60 to 70%. You have to look at like the actual, you have to actually look at the curves between viewership spikes and whether that corresponds to like active users as well. Because there's always going to be a percentage of people who are just like watching on their TV. XU said this yesterday. He said your curves were legit / really nice, and chat was saying gauge. Most bot farms have a ramp up function that can avoid those spikes. Spot on with user to viewer ratio. Can you compare it to someone you suspect of? Like Asmongold has admitted that his channel is botted, right? And I'm not making an inference. I'm not making an inference on whether or not he has actively paid for this service or if someone is doing it for him, even though from what I understand, it's a relatively costly process. So if we looked at the same day, August 15th for Asmongold, his viewer to user ratio would probably be different. Okay. I don't know. Can someone link it to me? He instantly jumped 50K viewers yesterday. Check today's Tectone stream. He went from 4K to 15K. No, but this doesn't show. Yeah, look at his user to viewer ratio, bro. His user to viewer ratio is 45%. And he almost instantly, in the first 10 minutes, jumps up to like 30K. In the first 30 minutes, he jumps up to like 30K, 40K, and he just stays there the whole time. 45%, bro. That's crazy. This doesn't mean every single inactive user is a bot, for the record. Okay, but like look at my curve versus look at his. My number of average Twitch users, which is the average number of concurrent logged in Twitch users throughout the stream, including chatters, inactive users, and chat bots, is 28,512. His is at 18,037. Chat bots is not like botted viewership, by the way. Chat bots like Fossabot and I think. I assume. You got nice curves on stream and IRL. Thank you. So yeah, it does kind of feel like maybe the bots are back, but especially considering that like Tectone admitted it. And he is like, he's got like 15K, which, you know, I guess everybody just kind of knows now.